So what's this tank here for Fiachra?
This tank here is starting over at the far end of the shed. Everything was designed to kind of bring everything down this way when we had scrapers later on for these sheds or whatever.
Yeah.
But the total length of it is 365 feet from the far side of the collecting yard, or far side of the milking parlour, right over to the other end. But there's a wall in the middle of it, so I can separate out the parlour washings, whatever classified as parlour washings.
Yes.
But when it comes to December, then I can transfer this year now I can transfer the water from the washings of the rotary directly into the back collecting yard of the old tank.
Okay.
That's just straight from the washings of from the milk machine directly, rather than any cow shit inside.
Okay.
So now all the stuff inside in the collecting yard is scraped down to this tank here then during summer or whatever.
Right. So all the space we're looking at here then it's all planned for infill ultimately here.
Infill our tanks.
Yeah.
Put more tanks in there. If you brought down to the level of whatever the levels of the tank above, that's a bit slightly higher than this one, but it just be transferred into cubicles. A feed barrier spaced all along there.
Yeah.
A calf house up on top then.
Okay. Time scale roughly of all that?
The calf house is probably this year.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that, designing that, or kind of figure out what's the best way. But my problem is at the moment is the height of the parlour is to get in the loader to clean it out afterwards.
Okay.
Because there's a big drop off here, but I know that it'll be whatever height that feed passage there, it'll be 4 or 5 inches above it.
Yes.
For the feed trough, but whether I drop it down, the calf was above there, I don't know. I'll just find a way of being able to get the loader in to clean it out.
So that we were looking at the collecting yard of the old parlour.
The collecting yard of the old parlour.
What size parlour was it there? Say
that was a 26 unit.
That finished as a 26.
26 unit finished at 26. Yeah.
Fine. How many cows is that milking at peak?
330.
Yeah. How long was that taking?
2.5 hours.
Right. Yeah.
So that was. But the milking parlour itself was fine. The milking machine itself was fine. He was able to manage it, no problem.
Yeah.
But it was just getting cows in and getting cows out.
Yeah.
It was the big slow point. You were losing an awful lot of time with the length of the parlour. You were just getting an awful long time to get cows in and get cows out.
And to physically fit that number of cows.
Physically fit that number of cows. Like.
Okay.
You know.
And so your reason for going from herringbone to rotary, or not going extending the herringbone, or what was your motivation?
It was just a lot of it was time factor.
Yeah.
Milking cows, going back to enjoy milking cows again. Like I was doing a lot of the roof. Some days could be lifting off that. Kind of come on, get in, get out.
Yeah.
And you hear no roar inside there.
Yeah.
It's just all much calmer. The cows are happier. The cows just flow in. But and once you start shouting in the herringbone, the cows come backwards.
Yeah.
Cows come back here. You know, and then you've got the backing gate and trying to push them up.
Yeah, they're all tension as well.
They're all tension, so the backing gate is kind of under pressure then. The backing gate should only be there to close the space.
Okay.
Not to push them up like.
Yes.
But
so where you built your new project here was a greenfield site?
It's a total greenfield site,
yes.
Yeah. Probably it was, the best option of the whole thing. Like, it was just, you were nothing to do with it. The builders, the fall of the ground was suiting everything.
Yeah.
It was kind of just at the right height here. We didn't have to go anywhere. We didn't have to dig into anything. There was no rock.
Yeah.
There was no anywhere.
Yes.
Was
there any rock under here?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Because it is dry land around here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we might walk down here. So all your cows come at it either from that direction here, is it, or this side here?
Generally, they all come in from this side.
Yeah.
All the young stock then are all out here at the moment. All the calves, heifers, they're all here from maybe April to maybe July.
Yes.
Until the second cut comes in, or whatever part of the first cut that we're not doing, it's for second cut.
And they move to outblocks then?
They move to outblocks down the road, like we'll say, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's so I suppose the benefit of all the feed spaces when you're buffer feeding during the summer.
Yeah.
That they can all feed at one time. It just showed itself last year. All the cows could feed themselves last year.
Okay, no pressure.
No pressure under any place, and you can spread it out.
So what's your stocking rate? I suppose buffer feeding, I know it was a difficult year last year, but is that part of your system usually, or?
Over the last 3 years we've been buffer feeding.
Yeah.
Stock was probably realising this year it will probably be a bit high. What are we at now this year? 2.6 or something, counted 2.4, 2.6 stocking rate.
Yeah.
We were up at 3.1, 3.2 before that, like.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was tight, like.
Yeah.
Everything had to go right, but sure, everything didn't go right. And we built that tank in 21.
This year.
That tank there.
Yeah.
The whole tank. The whole tank was done in 21, didn't it? Yeah. We dug out the whole thing in 21. Thinking down below, we start that in 22.
Okay.
So this shed was extended by 2 bays in over the tank.
Right.
Um,
So when was that started?
done in 2010.
Okay.
All that section.
Okay. So how many cubicles are we looking at here now?
There is 62 on either side.
Yeah.
Either side of the.
Good.
It's a very comfortable, airy shed. It dries out very well. It dries probably dry. You can see it there now. It dries out too well. So all the shit kind of stays on top of the slats for a long time, especially inside there. When you're not in there full time, it cakes up very easily. Like 'cause
Okay.
it's a very airy shed.
They're not in there 24/7.
It's not in there, it won't clean out itself, kind of.
Okay.
Whereas the older sheds and the older slats, the slats are a bit wider.
Yeah.
But still they take that bit longer to dry out maybe, and they clear better. That's the only one fault. The slats, they cake up very hard. You wouldn't want them in there. They go in there in the morning time when they're waiting for the timer goes off at 5:30, 4:45. So they'd only been there for 15 minutes while they're waiting like. So
But say when you're bringing your cows in, do you close that gate down?
I generally don't, and not
Okay.
at the moment like.
Right. Yeah.
Not at the moment. But very rarely yesterday morning now when it was raining, they were in there all right. But I would just go in there, lie down, and they'll be out again in 5-10 minutes once the door opens here.
Okay. Okay.
So
So you're using a bat latch, are you?
Using the backlatch.
Yeah.
Morning and evening.
Fine.
So they're all in, but I go around in to get the gate, or they're all in like.
Yeah. So when you're feeding, then do you open the gates here, or do you just back in with the diet feeder?
No, we back in with the feeder when we're mostly throughout the year, just backing in there, and we just dump it at the last bay, dump it a bit extra on the last bay,
Yeah.
and then get the loader to
Push it down.
push it down into.
Yeah. Fine.
And then you come along here and just do a full stretch.
Yeah.
Outside barrier in for the summer maybe,
Okay.
but it's just.
It's obviously a very easy feed face to drop feed on there. With loads of space.
Loads of space. And the winter time then they're closed in. And we can come down the centre and we can do right down the centre and feed that way.
Yeah.
Right down the centre and feed that way. And we might close off. We might feed out there outside over the canopy at all.
Right.
Or under. So there's no need, because whatever fits in here, they all have feed space to feed like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is there, 68 cubicles, whatever.
Okay. What weight of tank is it?
That's 16'6" slat on it,
Yeah.
by 10 foot deep, by 365.
No aeration in the tank, just
No.
vegetation.
No.
Yeah. And you went space sheeting?
Space sheet, and just kind of went with the previous part of it, like, and it was just it keeps it airy, like. Very very rarely get wet cubicles, bar the rain comes straight down.
Okay.
Only when you get mist, maybe a heavy mist, you might get drops down into it. But other than that, any bit of wind at all, you'd never get any wet. You wouldn't get it wet.
Yes. So you went brushes, I see. You've 2 of them.
2 of them, just yeah. They're at
Do
them
they
every
like
day.
him? Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be very very content with them. Like, the cows are kept clean with them, especially during the winter time. And even the ones that are over in the other sheds now, as soon as they come in here, they're calved or whatever, they go straight for the clean up or whatever.
Okay.
They're useful enough.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of the stuff that's there is kind of used alright, like, but just kind of keep it. It's
Are they tip over water troughs then?
they're the tip over water troughs.
Do a good job.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can keep it clean and you can
How
watch
often
it.
would you empty it?
Yeah, I suppose not as often as you should,
Yeah.
like, but no, you wouldn't be getting too.
Yeah.
Well, anytime you be passing, like, you kind of see him. I wouldn't see him every day. No, Pat might see him when he's cleaning the cubicles or something like that, whatever. You'll be passing by him, like. But If I was passing by and there's dirt in them, you just flip them
Yeah.
over. You're not dumping a large volume of water in them, like, so you can keep them clean and keep them.
Empty them as needs be.
Yeah.
Your swing over gates then?
Swing over gates, they're just handy to keep them when you only want to use half of it, or you want to get a cow out or something like that. You want to close this up if you're agitating slurry or something like that. You just close them in there. There's a gap. They're not joined, the two tanks. There's a space between them.
Yeah.
That's a tall tank up there as well. That's all tank underneath there as well.
Okay. Just on the
lint.
Yeah.
I made a booby when I was putting up the gates. That was right where I put them up, and these are too low. I was just going to keep them flush with the wall, and then the fellow who delivered the next batch of barriers in saw them. He said, "No, they're too low."
Just for your head getting in yourself, or stock even? Or?
No, they're just hitting off the tip of the. The cubicle.
Okay. Yeah.
But I didn't look at the drawings properly. But yeah, small things like that, they can be.
Yeah. But they're an efficient way of.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Separating animals.
Yeah. Closing off
Especially
animals.
one person.
If you like, one person close off the gates there, you can open the barrier.
Yeah.
You can let. If you only want to dose half of them, there's a gate in the middle, above, and top as well, and you can close in half of them until you let out half of them. Because when you want to dose them there in the winter time, after you dry them off, whatever, and they haven't been out for a week or 10 days, and they kind of go mad, kind of thing, run the whole way into the collecting yard inside.
Yeah.
To get they run back on your top of you then, which makes it worse again.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
Good. We'll walk over here. So as the rain is coming out, and we're at the end of May here now, but it's obviously been a very dry period, so the rain is welcome for you.
I was seriously looking for rain. We just got caught. We did the silage last Monday, was it? That was cut last Monday.
Yeah.
It was the start of the dry week. The sugars are perfect. We're going cutting at everything, and everything's perfect. And it rained on top of it. They showered on top of it on Monday evening. Then.
Yeah.
Then on Tuesday the 20th, wasn't it? Tuesday the 20th. Yeah. Tuesday the 20th, it just kind of downpoured that morning. We were back in Newcastle West. Okay. And it downpoured on top of it. So.
Just looking there, if you have your air code on the building there.
I have the air code in a few places around the building.
Yeah.
A few places just in case of any emergencies or whatever.
Yeah.
Just a tip I saw, a Board B inspection fella said that he saw it in some farm down in Cork somewhere, and they just had it.
Yeah. Just no guessing.
Just no guessing. Even for like, I know my air code, but no one else probably does from outside of that. Like, but it's just in case anything did happen, it's in different places around the yard. Yeah. Out in the front yard, it's here in front of the shade. It's down in the milking parlour. So. Just one of those things.
You seem to have plenty of silage in anyway.
I was only planning for the first go, I was only going to go into that pit, but the first pit, because we had that pit left over from last year. Yeah. Which is a surprise again, like, but that was all empty in 23. The whole yard was empty in 23 last year, last spring. Right. In end of March it was empty. Of 24? Of 24 was it? Yeah, of 24, yeah. Empty, totally empty. In March? In March. Yeah. We're buying in maize and we're getting bales from everywhere and getting cows out at the same time, and it was really difficult spring. It was really difficult spring, and still we still not buying a lot of bales last year, like as well. So we went down. We invested in maize in last year as well, just trying to kind of get us going through this spring as well, trying to slow down the silage, kind of thing. But there seems to be a bumper crop on the crop this year, but it's only going to fit there. But I don't know where I'm going to put my second cut. More or less end up here, will it, or will you? I don't know. I'm not too enamoured about opening it all up again. Yeah. Do you know? There's a lot of work in it. Like. Yes. There's a lot of work in it. It's just one of those things that. It's a good complaint anyway. It's a good complaint to have. Like, I think it's a real insurance thing, isn't it, to have? Totally, like Whether you have to do more bales, so be it. Like, but, you know. Take a bit of pain for 1 year maybe with the charges. Yeah, but at least you're looking at pain outside there. Like, you're looking at bales. You're looking at feed. You are, yeah. And at this stage, you can cut the second cut whenever you want to. So you can make it quality the second cut, like if you wanted, rather than waiting for the full length of the thing for it to grow. Like. I think I've seen around in places the scale has increased, the herd sizes have increased, and like that happy place for having enough feed has increased as well. Yeah, and it's probably kicked on further than what people realised. The need they have for plenty of conserved feed. So even at that, like there's reseeding taken out on this block there's reseed on the silage block taken out,
Yeah.
and it could take more out, like it just
Yeah.
with the opportunity of having that much silage there
Yes.
at the moment, like.
Yes.
So
I see the wires up for a lot of the buildings. You've
it's
done
all
a
the
lot of
wires.
sheds.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all the wires. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just seem to, I don't know, just it's like a jigsaw when they come on site. Then.
Yeah.
There's no major drills or there's no angle grinders. It's
Yeah.
all the fella just has to put it up, like.
Feed bin for.
That was the feed bin for the blend going through the dye feeder and for the winter.
Yeah.
Kind of, and it's on weight cells.
Okay, I see that.
They all have the bins on.
That's a Crowley bin, is it?
In the milking machine, Crowley bin.
Yeah.
Um,
Did it come day one with the weigh cells?
no, you have to
Put them on after?
Well, when they put it there,
Yeah.
you know, I had the weight cells on the old parlour. We had that bin was on the old parlour. We put extensions on it to get the bucket underneath, the shear bucket underneath to fill it.
Yeah.
So we bought 2 new bins then for the parlour down below.
Okay.
But
Do you find the weigh cells handy?
Yeah, when you're measuring out the feed, because when you're asked to in the diet feeder, it tells you put in 300 kgs, like.
Yeah, you don't know.
And then you go over here to the thing, that's
Yeah.
near enough 3 kg, 300 kg. Next, you have 350 inside it, and then
Yes.
you're over the dumper. Where do they put the rest of it now?
I know.
Yeah, just
It's
fire
out.
it in.
Yeah.
I just throw the rest
It
of it
adds
in.
up.
Oh, that's 50, that's 100 and whatever. Like, but
Yeah. No,
it
it's
adds
a
up,
good,
like.
a good application of it.
Yeah. But it's just a simple thing, like it's just simple way of going about it, like.
So a couple of old round roofs anyway.
All
They're continuing to do a job, yeah.
They do, yeah. They were silage bits one time.
Okay.
My father took them out then and put all cubicles.
Yeah.
They were where the waning pins after silage, but they were waning pins.
Yes.
Put the wains in there on the younger stock. All heifers used to be here. All the replacements used to be in those 2 sheds.
Okay.
But then we got my uncle's place down below, down the next farm, and we put all the young stock down there
Yes.
for the winter. And we transferred into cubicles. So it was, it's all slats, like it's all, but the older slats sit inside here. Then there's a 4-foot tank there, which is kind of a, when you put a lot of stock in there, it fills after about 3 or 4 weeks. And
Yes. So this shed is here a while anyway, so this is your.
This shed is here a while ago, 1982, I think. Was
Okay.
when we put it there, yeah.
Yeah.
And these sheetings here, these are all on the lean-tos off those 2 round hay barns. They
Yes.
were lean-to. They were kind of the old cubicle sheds.
Yeah.
And the father would scrape them out once a week into a big slurry lagoon that used to be along there. Oh, it's just a difference. But now all the stats, we bring in the feed to them, and it's all just that bit of different.
Yeah.